Hello viewers, today we are going to see about transistor shunt voltage regulator. So, transistor shunt voltage regulator. So basically we have a series resistance Rs and Vin. This is a unregulated input voltage. Of course we know the minimum voltage and the maximum voltage. We have to design for the worst case. That means we have to take only the maximum voltage. Okay. Then we have a transistor here. And then we have a Zener diode here. So this is Zener diode. And the breakdown voltage is Vz. Okay. Now we have the load RL. Whenever we discuss about the load can we must design for the worst case. That means the load either can be short circuited or it can be open circuited. So two cases we have to analyze. Then only we will come to know how the circuit works. In second case, we must know what is the minimum voltage we will be having at the input and what is the maximum voltage we will be having at the input. Say suppose the input voltage ranges from say 12 to 18. We need not consider for 12 volts. We should always take the worst case, which is 18 volts, and then we have to start designing. So for this circuit, we will be, if I say Vin, it is the maximum voltage we can expect at this input. That's the idea. But as far as the load voltage is concerned, we should design for the short circuit and the open circuit. So let us see how to design the circuit. Okay. Now you all know that VBE. This is positive, this is negative, Vz. Suppose I want 6 volts, then the Zener breakdown will be, say you must choose the Zener breakdown to be 5.4 or 5.3, then this will be say 0.7, then you will get 6 volts regulated output voltage. So that's how you have to run. So this is V in, positive, negative, this is V out. This end is positive, this end. Here we have the load current. Here we have the collector current. And then here we have the series input current, Is. And of course this is base current, Ib. So the Zener current and base current all are same. So that is Zener current, which is equal to nothing but the base current as far as this circuit is concerned. So generally, you all know that a Zener will be operated in the reverse bias mode. So you all know the basics. That is, after this is for third quadrant. So this is Zener voltage. After once the input voltage across the Zener crosses Vz, then only the current will start increasing, not the voltage. That means it is going to maintain a very stable voltage of Vz. And this is also stable voltage. Now if you carefully see, V out is the voltage across RL as well as it is the voltage drop of Vz plus VBE. That means I can write V out is equal to this Vz plus VBE. Now this is the equation we have. Whether this is going to change, it is not going to change. Why? Because Vz is constant, Vb is also constant. So whatever voltage we define Vz, you must add plus 0.7, that will be the regulated output voltage. So this is the one basic equation. And as far as current is concerned, you have a Zener current flowing this way, or I can say it as Ib, base current to the transistor. And we have IC current here, IL current here. We have the relation already. IC is equal to beta times IB. Okay. That means whenever base current increases, collector current also increases. Okay. Now, if you calculate, if you analyze this loop, or if you analyze the outer loop, we can see that V in this voltage, applied voltage is equal to this drop, that is ISRS plus this drop, you go by the outer loop, so this drop, that is ILRL. Or I can say ILRL is nothing but the required output voltage, which is nothing but Vout. Now I am interested in finding out IS, or I want to calculate RS. So you bring this term this side, Vi minus Vout by, so this has come here, you bring this RS this side, will give you IS. So now generally the base current will be very low current. It will be less than 1 milliamps, or it will be in milliamps, that's all. But it definitely it is not going to be in amps. So this current is negligible. Whereas IC is beta times IB, this will be in milliamps, 10 milliamps, 20 milliamps, 30 milliamps, like that. Okay. So what happens is, now the incoming current IS is defined by, if you carefully see, this is IS. So the current entering the junction is IS. The current leaving away from the junction is, we have IZ, or we can say IB. Then we have IC, and then we have the load current IL. Okay. Now we know VZ, VBE. That means this, with respect to this point is nothing but Vout. Okay. Now this Vin. Now if you know the value of IS, definitely we can find the value of RS. So the requirement is only IS. So how to find IS? So that is given by IB plus IC plus IL. Approximately we can write IS is equal to, because this is negligible compared to IC and IL. So IS is approximately equal to IC plus IL. Now we know the load resistance. Then we will see for the worst case. Now we have the load resistance. So if you know the load resistance, then the expected voltage can be, the load is operating with this voltage. Now what is IL? IL is equal to Vout by RL. Okay. So that means this value is known now. And then IC. IC is beta times IB. So this is also we can define. Suppose if base current is known, then IC is equal to beta. We know the value of beta of the transistor. So IC, so these two values are known. Therefore IS value can be found. If IS is known, understood? So we know IL. How do we know IL? Because the load needs Vout. We know the load resistance also. Therefore we can find out IL. And IC is known because based on the base current, collector current, we know it is beta times IB. Beta can be found out from the data sheet, or through practically we can connect in circuit and we can find beta, or we have provisions in multimeter to find the beta value. So beta is known. So therefore these two values known, therefore IS can be found, we can easily find. Now in this relation we want RS. So RS, here we have IS. So this value is known. Now we have to analyze for what? The two worst cases. What are the two worst cases? First, so this we have, if I say Vn, this is also already designed for the worst case, say the maximum voltage, not the minimum side, because it can fluctuate based on, if the incoming AC supply is varying, then this will going to fluctuate. But we will see the worst case, which is maximum voltage. So if I say Vn, it is only the maximum voltage. Now, first case, two worst case can happen at RL, that is, it can short circuit. or it can be open circuited. Assume it is shorted. So what happens? Now this is short circuited. Of course this point is 0 volts, so this is 0. So first observation is, here V output is 0. This same 0 will come here, okay, 0 volts. Now the maximum current, this point is 0, okay. So the current flowing here will be IS. Now the IS current is equal to V in minus 0 divided by RS. So this is the worst case at which the current that will be sourced from the input side, okay. Now the current will be maximum because of this short circuiting. Now what happens is, since whatever may be the case, the transistor is going to operate with a very negligible current, okay. Therefore what happens is, since this point is 0, this point is 0, this is not going to act. That is, since this end is 0, this end is 0, no current will flow through the Zener diode, because Zener diode it is within the Zener breakdown region. Therefore the current flowing through the Zener diode will be approximately 0, or we have negligible current, highly negligible current. So that won't make your transistor to be in on condition, okay. So if this is not going to be in on condition, that is, it is not short circuit, it is going to be in off. That means, off means we can treat this as an open circuit. That means VCE is treated as an open circuit, okay. Now what happens is, since this is open circuited, your transistor is not going to be loaded, and since there is no base current, and this is the worst case, and the current flowing through the RS is given by this relation. Next we will go for the open circuit. So same thing, what happens is, this can be open circuited. If this is open circuited, no current flows through this. So what happens is, the Zener will operate in the same mode. So Zener goes into conduction, because this circuit is closed, goes into conduction, and VBE. So the voltage here will be VZ plus this voltage VBE, that will be here. Because of this, the transistor goes into conduction. So once transistor goes into conduction, we know the load line for the see, this is VCE and this is IC. So what happens is, you have the load line. When the transistor is on, if I say on, this point is on, that means VC is approximately 0. Or roughly the correct value, practical value will be 0.3. So what happens is, this is almost 0. Therefore, most of the current is taken away by the transistor and not by the Zener diode. So therefore Zener diode is safe now. We can substitute with a low power Zener diode. Okay, that's the idea of using this shunt transistor. So when there is a current IC, so the current will be maximum. Here we say the transistor is in on condition. If I say on, you can imagine just these 2 points are get short circuited. That means the current is carried away by the transistor. Now assume that if you don't have a transistor, what will happen? The entire current has to be taken by, should be taken by the Zener diode. That's why, to protect this Zener diode, or we can use low power Zener diode, then we go for the transistor. That's the idea. So the current is carried away by the transistor, because the base current is going to be negligible compared to the collector current. So these two cases have been found out. So for all other cases, we know the two extremes now. What happens if it's short? We know the RS value. What happens if open? We know the, so this transistor goes into on and it starts conducting. Therefore, the current through the Zener diode is negligible as usual. Therefore, it need not handle very much power. The power handled by the Zener diode is very, very less. But if you don't have the transistor, shunt transistor, the entire current has to be handled. So, we have to put a very high power Zener diode. Then only it can withstand that power. If not, if you use an ordinary Zener diode less than 1 watt, say half watt or 1 watt, then the Zener diode will break down and may even go into flames. Okay, it will burn out. So that's why we put a shunt transistor, so that the entire system works correctly and gives a regulated output of the required for the load. We will get the required regulated output voltage. So the excess current from the source is bypassed is taken away by the transistor, thus protecting a low power Zener diode. So this is the basic explanation how the transistor shunt voltage regulator works. Hope you have understood this topic. Thanks for watching. Nandri.